Thank you. So our second evaluator today is Duani. And welcome, Duani.
Thanks, Hari, for a very relevant speech. I think you included all of us right at the start, saying either you're an employee or a Toastmasters club president, or even an officer for that matter, or you're trying to get some work done around the house. So I thought that was good. Overall, I love the topic. I have to be honest, I have really high expectations of you as a speaker, because the first time I heard you, there was a division contest at eBay, and how you was spectacular. And so today I saw that you were a little underprepared. You had great movement, very strong voice as usual, and like I said, relevant topic. A few suggestions for the first half of your presentation, which was when you were talking about coaching, what it means, how do you conduct coaching, and really how to make it more effective. I thought a couple of things could have been done differently, which would have just given it a much better package. One is to give us an overview at the start, saying 2 points. So this is what I'm going to talk about. You defined them well, and then you talked about it, then you went on the other one. But then somewhere I was wondering if it's point number 2, are there total 3 points? Where do we stop? Or how much more to expect? And how much should I fill my brain with the existing points? And I think that would have helped. At the same time, at the end, I think you stopped, and I was hoping you would give me a summary and kind of take away the overview feedback. But you didn't give us a summary. You said, okay, now I'm going to do a role play. Sharon, can I have you up here? I'm like, wait a second, I didn't close all the points in my head. I don't remember what to expect, what not. So I thought that was the only thing I would have changed there. And one other thing was addressing the topic, and something that I think Ellen actually just pointed out for Birgit's speech, which is what's in it for me. I think it would have really helped, since you were trying to teach people how to coach others, showing us the benefit of how coaching others could benefit you, getting the best out of your employees. And I think you kind of pointed it out, but how do you make it even more direct and more obvious? Coming down to the play itself, like Akana mentioned earlier, doing a live demo is really difficult, and even the best speakers say you shouldn't. If that's so difficult with machines, which usually behave predictably, think about humans, right? And I think we've had this happen one other time in the last 1 year. So we had a tough conversation with Wish. I don't think he's in the room right now. But it was really difficult because the audience is laughing, and kind of what Birgit had to go through as well. You're focusing on the camera, but you know that there are 30 other pairs of eyes looking at you. And how do you do justice to that? Because all throughout our speaking careers, we've been taught to look at the people, eye contact. And I thought one key feedback was you really laughed a lot, and you kind of give us a 30-second laugh with us. And I thought that you both being part of the play could have, kind of at least said quiet that time and not join us in the laughter, because it kind of takes away the seriousness or the message that you're trying to do. Right? It's informal, so it was fine, but I think that would have been something to take care of next time. As part of the conversation, which is something that the manual really wants me to evaluate on, I thought a couple of points were already called out in the Q&A session. But one key thing I realized myself was, when you asked Sharon for her feedback, it was obvious that her concerns were motivation and not the ability or time. And I think we didn't really acknowledge that or say, oh really, is that what happened? You took the blame and said, okay, let's move on. But I think it would have helped to understand her, like you said yourself, and say, okay, are you really? Is that what the problem is? And it's easy, because now she trusts you that she called out in the conversation, and you just had to fix that or give her the confidence that you fix it, make it right. And the other was you jump to the solutions yourself, saying direct marketing or mail, rather than her coming up with solutions and you just providing her a platform. But overall, I think it was a great presentation. We really learned a lot, and I hope this is something that we can all take home and really start using tomorrow. So thanks a lot for doing that.
Thank you. Any other feedback from this?
I didn't quite understand the situation. Were you the manager or were you a friend?
I was the manager.
Oh, because I don't think my manager would ever be my coach. He probably might be someone I could use to get ahead in my career, so I could use him as a mentor, right? What? Really? Hit your eye to the right guy.
I think yeah, you're right. I think the options that are given in the manual, and manager can be, they had the option of picking a manager, and they described the scenario.
I especially in some companies, your manager.
Okay.
Jim?
Yeah, Harry, when you were in the interview situation here, I thought you could have spent some more time acknowledging the responses that Sharon gave to you. Oh, I understand, or whatever, nodding your head, that you really understood what her concerns were when you asked the question, you got the answer, and acknowledged that you heard her, so that she will feel more comfortable.
One thing I was a little bit confused on was you started talking about people trying to reach their optimal or their best.
Yeah.
And then you went on to specifically talk about coaching people that were lower performers or not hitting their goals. And I would like to hear more from you about how do you coach people who are doing the best they can do to reach their next level, or who want to get promoted, or maybe who are doing fine but they're just coasting.
Yeah.
And just distinguish that a little more.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because absolutely, there's that piece of coaching. This project focused on improving a current performance. Somebody who's not performing, that's the project, but regardless of the project, I do agree that I think in terms of getting somebody to the next level, that can be a coaching process too, but it has to be something that has to be done. You have to be intentional about it, right?
Yes.
As a manager or as a coach, if you really, Josephine's doing great, but I really think she's capable of more, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's an intentional process all by itself, I think. But absolutely.
Next evaluation. Time-wise, next evaluation.
Yeah, so the last one.
Harry, at the end, in your conclusion, especially because you had such an amazing employee who was very honest with you, you said, thank you for your time and support. I would say, thank you for your honesty. You're encouraging her to kind of showing her that you understood her feedback, because she gave you a lot.